Going on, everyone? John Matrix here. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. Today we're jumping back into the SCP universe with the Exploring series to guide us. We're gonna do a video about the Fifth Church. After watching the SCP video on star signals that kind of introduced me to them, I was very curious to learn more about them as a faction, what they're about, what's going on with them. Just the idea kind of I guess the tale of the story kind of really just intrigued me about, you know, there's a book with rituals, and if you read this book, you can actually do these rituals and manifest things, but then it also kind of like consumes stars, and then you get kind of indoctrinated into this faction, and what are they really going after and trying to accomplish? I don't know. It was all very kind of intriguing. So we're gonna check out a video about them today and learn more about them. So links down below in the description as usual to the Exploring series channel and to the original video here without my commentary and reaction. So you do me a favor, if you enjoy the original video here by the Exploring series and you like the man's content, please do me a favor, go over there and click those links down below in the description. Go over there, give this video a like. If you haven't subbed to him already, give the man a sub. He makes a lot of great content for the Exploring series as well as many other universes, and he's a great content creator for YouTube. Definitely deserves some love and attention, so please do me a favor and do that. We're doing this reaction live from our YouTube members, as you can see. We'd love to have you guys come in here and hang out, join our discussions as we, you know, do these reactions live. We'd love to hear your thoughts on anything we bring up, any discussions that we have, and just in general join them. If you would like to, there is a join button down below, as well as a link in the description to the YouTube membership benefits and tiers. You can get early access to my videos up to a week before they're released to the public. You can get priority on any kind of reaction videos you want me to do, as well as a sub Discord channel, etc., etc. So if any of that has any interest for you, take a look at that, see if you want to join and help me out, you know, take support to the next level and help me out monetarily. Would greatly appreciate it. It's a dream to be able to do this for a living. So yeah, thank you very much. Regardless, appreciate you just taking the time to watch this. Shameless plugs are over. Thank you for listening to all that. Let's get into the video. Again, this is going to be the Exploring the SCP Foundation, the Fifth Church.
The Fifth Church. Numerology, astrology, fortune-telling, occultism, magic, and the paranormal. These concepts have existed amongst humanity for thousands of years, and human life in general has pursued the idea of explaining the inexplicable and knowing the unknowable. The SCP universe, of course, operates as a world where the paranormal is undoubtedly real and continually breaks into the lives of ordinary people. The Fifth Church is a group of people that know more than most and have borne witness to things beyond the ordinary. Although this video
sounds kind of more Lovecraftian the way he's describing it here
is titled The Fifth Church, we're really going to be discussing Fifthism in general, as it manifests in many different ways.
Interesting. Okay.
I highly recommend first viewing my video on SCP-1425, Star Signals, to give you a basic idea of the Fifth.
Did the homework already, fella. Did the homework already. We're prepared.
Church. Fifthism as a concept is extremely hard to broadly define, and so of course we'll be looking at a couple specific examples to give us a better idea. It obviously revolves around the number 5 in a lot of ways, but there isn't one singular set of beliefs for those that follow Fifthism.
So obviously that's where the numerology comes in. Everything being based on the number 5, I assume, which again, Fifth Church makes sense.
Since I'll assume you're familiar with SCP-1425, that was an example of how the group called the Fifth Church operates, a New Age cult with extensive connections throughout Hollywood and the media. The Fifth Church are believers in Fifthism, but there are other Fifthist groups as well. It's believed, of course, that there are always 5 manifestations of Fifthis in existence at one time. When one group dissipates, another will replace it. Different fifthist groups worship in different ways and believe in different things. And while this occasionally comes in the specific form of a church, such as SCP-1982, a southern church that turns people
Year I was born.
into smoking tobacco,
Yikes.
it more often does not. West Coast fifthists are focused around music and lyrics, taking the form of musicians and songwriters. A much
I would assume they don't have any kind of connection to the symphony syncope, but that's where my brain goes. The idea that just trying to remember what it was actually said. The idea of, you know, them listening to the music and there being some kind of broader connection with music. For whatever reason makes me wonder that this is somehow connected with them in some kind of way, but probably not. Anyway.
Around music and lyrics, taking the form of musicians and songwriters. A much more grassroots operation than the
wet
Fifth
in deep
Church,
space,
with its celebrity endorsements. The usual core concepts seen in fifthist SCPs, however, relate to smoke, stars, and the number 5. SCP-1958 is a 1950s Volkswagen bus currently orbiting our sun, with no significant damage to its structure.
Interesting.
Prior to its current orbit, the bus was moving away from our solar system at a constant speed of 140 kilometers per hour.
Is this tied in to that? I don't remember what it's called. There was an object that this happened with. Like, there was an object that seems to have come in from outside of our solar system, like slowed and passed through our sun and then went off in another direction. Is this kind of like, are they trying to say it was actually this in the SCP universe? I forget what it was called. It was kind of like big scientific news. I don't know, 2018, 17-ish, something like that. Maybe a little sooner. I don't remember when it happened.
Before the Foundation intervened. The phrases Starmobile and Alpha Centauri or Bust are spray painted on its side, and the Foundation has calculated that at its prior trajectory, it would have reached Alpha Centauri in 37.2 million years. There have been a number of modifications done to the bus, including making the interior airtight, replacing the windows with a shatterproof acrylic, and treating the exterior surfaces with an unknown substance that has made them impervious to space debris. The gas tank has been replaced with a futuristic fuel cell, based on theories only developed decades after the bus left Earth. A large number of objects were found inside the bus when first recovered by the Foundation. An adult male human skeleton, identified as a missing college student named William from the 50s, and a female cat skeleton. 4 bedrolls and pillows, a supply of 1950s era clothing, a partially exhausted supply of dehydrated food, enough to feed 4 adults for 3 months, a chemical toilet and water filtration system, an atmospheric scrubbing system for removing carbon dioxide and introducing oxygen, a seed bank, a water pipe with cannabis residue, a heroin syringe and vial, blueprints of the modifications to the bus engine, guitar and bongo drums, a set of star charts, and a number of books. Books include various poetry collections, songbooks, science fiction novels, Dianetics by L. Ron Hubbard, and a handwritten diary.
Okay. It's interesting that this kind of keeps tying back into Scientology too. Like, I wonder if this is someone's way of kind of like poking fun of Scientology, or if they are in fact like a believer in Scientology, you know? Maybe the author was like into Scientology for a while, or at least has some kind of curiosity. But it's interesting that this kind of like keeps tying in with Scientology, L. Ron Hubbard, and just the concepts of the Fifth Church or whatever, and their connections with Hollywood and celebrities and yada yada. I don't know. Guys are ready to party? Yeah.
William was described after his disappearance by friends and relatives as a beatnik, who was active in counterculture movements and dabbled with several religious movements, including the First Fifth Church of San Francisco. The remainder of the article consists of excerpts from William's diary. He says that the Fifth Church kicked out him and a few others for heresy, as they apparently believe that there is magic up in space, and they...
Heresy. Again, get back into 40K, the Inquisition, you know, kicked out.
Plan
it
to
all
go
ties
reach
back
themselves.
to the Imperium.
There's really no explanation for how they managed to achieve spaceflight, but you probably shouldn't have expected one.
I mean, yeah. Like, it's basically the Winnebago from Spaceballs. Right? Just with Spacemobile painted on the side.
As they cruise away from Earth, William writes that the group believes they will reach Alpha Centauri in 3 weeks, 4 tops. 5 days after liftoff, they run out of beer, but aren't too concerned as they plan to grow some barley when they land. 12 days after liftoff, one of the group dies after going outside of the bus in a spacesuit and getting knocked away by some debris. The rest of the group managed to turn the bus around and reach him, but he was already dead. But they continue on as they believe they are halfway there. 3 days later, the dead man's girlfriend commits suicide by overdosing on heroin.
Yikes.
The remaining 2 put her body out the airlock and continue on. Over 6 weeks after takeoff, William begins to suspect something is wrong, as he hasn't even seen Alpha Centauri out the window. He wonders if they're going the wrong way, since he can't make sense of the star charts, and they seem to be growing very ill, determined by the Foundation to be the effects of scurvy. Another few weeks go by, and William notes that they can see the moon out of the side window, and they must have screwed up the math. He realizes that they won't make it to Alpha Centauri, and they can't make it home now either.
Yeah, I mean, if you've been out there for that long and you're just now seeing the moon, you definitely fucked up your calculations somewhere. I'm just saying. You're not even getting out of the solar system, brother.
5 days later, William is the only passenger remaining, having to push his last friend out of the airlock after he died.
Right.
And noting that...
Like, I'm just getting dude, where's my car vibes from this, dude. You know what I'm saying?
There won't be anyone left to push him out. The final entry, written 4 months after they left Earth, has William commenting on how beautiful the stars are out here. It's a rather sad, albeit somewhat silly, story, and it doesn't provide a huge amount of insight to Fifthist beliefs, but it does highlight a very important element of those that adhere to Fifthism, and that is conviction.
True.
Fifthists carry an unwavering conviction in their beliefs, whether that comes in the form of religion, philosophy, occultism, or anything else. A group of college students capable of futuristically modifying a bus to achieve space travel certainly should have known how far away Alpha Centauri is, but they each were entrenched in their conviction that they would...
Well, and just the fact that they seem to just be a bunch of college kids and they managed to modify, you know, basically a Winnebago in order to fly out into space. They were able to convert a van to have the ability to leave the gravitational pull of the Earth and actually make it out into space. Like, what? Like, that's pretty smart stuff. You know what I'm saying? They just happen to have a couple brownies too many, and they, you know, miscalculated the decimal place, and, you know, a little off in their math.
Easily reach distant stars. This concept of unshaking anomalous conviction is highlighted in SCP-3519, a mimetic contagion that managed to infect the minds of practically everyone in the world. The contagion was basically pretty simple. It infected people with the belief that the world will end on March 5th, 2019, and that suicide prior to that date is desirable.
Interesting.
The infection spread through print, visual, and auditory media, and caused people to believe despite the lack of evidence. Although the date was the same for all, the actual apocalyptic event varied for different individuals, such as an astronomical event, environmental collapse, technological singularity, or the arrival of a messianic religious figure.
So they all saw something that said the specific date, but the cause of the apocalypse was different for everyone. Interesting. I wonder why that is. I wonder if it's just based off of like their own beliefs or what.
The Foundation concluded, however, that March 5th held the same probability of the world ending as any other day. The main threat here, however, was the inclination towards suicide.
Right.
Either as a better option than going through the event, or as a way to transcend this existence. No known infected person survived more than 40 days. Containment of 3519 turned out to be extremely difficult, as it spread so easily. An interview broadcasted on CNN featured a panel discussing the prediction, in which presidential counselor Kellyanne Conway remarked that the White House considered the prediction to be highly credible. Neil deGrasse Tyson responds by saying that March 5th is going to be a day like any other day, comparing the panic to the Mayan apocalypse in 2012. A screen shows a tweet from the president saying that an Aztec envoy told him the world is ending on March 5th, connecting to SCP-2155, also related to the fifthess.
Interesting.
An invitation sent out on February 12th for the last dance on Earth discusses celebrating one final Valentine's Day before committing mass suicide in a pool. An email discusses the idea that our existence is a simulation, and perhaps everyone is being convinced to commit suicide because the people running the simulation need everyone offline before they switch to a new program.
Interesting.
We are finally given a timeline of events from the Foundation's perspective about the months leading up to March 5th. The first notice of 3519 comes from a radio broadcast in Georgia on December 5th, called 50 Days, a show marked as having significant Fifth Church influence. The broadcast is initially ignored due to the large number of apocalyptic scenarios that the show typically broadcasts. A few weeks later, the congregation of the Church of the Andromeda Star in the same town as the broadcast commits mass suicide.
Interesting. It's like, what exactly is it that they're trying to accomplish by getting people to do like these mass suicide things? You know what I mean? Like, what's the end goal here? Are they just trying to off people? Are they just messing with people? Are they trying to get, like, does getting people to commit suicide, you know, is this some kind of being or entity that then gets power from them from doing that, gets their souls? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the end goal here? Is it something like, is there something more, or is it just, you know, this is some kind of, again, like mimetic or whatever, that's just getting people off them and that's it. You know what I mean? I mean, for real. I don't know. That's just how my brain works. My brain is always like, there has to be some kind of real reasoning behind it. And, you know, I want to find out what that reasoning is, but that's just not always the case. Sometimes there is no real reasoning and there's no like rhyme or reason behind what's going on. Especially, obviously, with like anomalous paranormal stuff, you know what I mean? So, I don't know.
News begins spreading of the cult suicide with an unusually sympathetic tone. On December 30th, 300 people in India commit suicide in a case linked to SCP-3519. 2,600 people across 17 countries commit suicide over the next few days, and the infection is designated by the Foundation. 2 weeks later, the Foundation has had no luck containing 3519, and by January 19th, 1% of the global population has died due to 3519 infection.
Damn.
Pope Francis attempts to issue a papal dispensation for suicides relating to the March 5th belief, but GOC agents manage to detain him. The next day, however, infected GOC agents leak that information to the press. By February 1st, 2% of the global population has committed suicide, and the number of homicides related to 3519 increase, especially of children. By February 6th, the number of suicides is believed to be at least 250 million, with an additional 100 million dead or dying from disease or loss of essential services. The Foundation has lost 10% of its personnel by this point. On February 19th, there was a limited nuclear exchange between Israel and Iran, and global thermonuclear war was only averted due to the GOC using anomalous means to coerce the UN.
Interesting.
The Foundation has been working on a counter meme to fight against the infection, but it ultimately never gets finished due to infection amongst the Foundation. By February 26th,
you would think they would have like anti-memetic things that they could like throw out there that would cancel us out, right? Or wouldn't they be able to just like throw out some like global amnestics to make people forget about this? You know?
The global media is mostly silent, and a number of Foundation sites fail to report in. Several sapient-contained anomalies managed to kill themselves as well. On the 27th, the project to stop 3519 is moved to an isolated cabin to escape the breakdown at the previous site. On the 28th, a junior researcher is promoted to the head of that project. And on the 29th, as part of an automated protocol, he is promoted to the rank of 05. By March 4th, he is the only Foundation member alive, and likely one of only a handful of isolated humans left. The final entry on March 6th reads, "It's a beautiful day." Presumably, SCP-2000 is used to repopulate the Earth.
Yeah.
This is undoubtedly...
There's a lot of things lately that have been going back to like SCP-2000 too. A lot of things have been having like connections with it, either as a start to it or, you know, something has happened obviously to wipe out the world and SCP-2000 is getting activated. Or has at least been mentioned as a failsafe or something, you know? But it's interesting.
The most successful operation carried out by the Fifth Church, and we're left with only guesses of their motivations or
why?
goals. Ultimately,
is it a situation where they're like, are they just trying to wipe out like a certain percentage of the population that don't have the kind of convictions that they're looking for in people? Are they just doing it for shits and giggles, for, you know, the meme? You know, just, you know, do it for the vine, as the kids used to say, kind of a situation, you know? I don't know. Like, what is the end goal?
You're really going to end this video without a much better understanding of Fifthis, and that's okay. Mainly, Fifthism is a vague concept, which means that writers can be flexible when working with it.
Right.
SCP-3005 is a malfunctioning Scranton reality anchor that is connected to both our reality and the Fifth World. SCP-3512 is about another weird Fifthis book, much like Star Signals, but this time about how to pick up women. SCP-2678 is called the Vor Hole, and I'll have to save that explanation for another video. Fifthism is among the most vague concepts in the SCP universe by design, but really it comes down to an alternate way of thinking and believing. It's a group of individuals that, through different means, embrace this alternate way of thinking, and believe that there's something deeply esoteric and transcendent beyond our existence. What form...
So I guess you could say that if they think that there's something greater beyond our existence, that they're doing, I guess, potentially quote-unquote God's work by getting people to commit suicide because there's something greater and beyond this existence, and that this existence is just a hindrance to that, you know? Or it could again be a situation where because they have some other kind of different belief system. They're trying to eliminate people that don't potentially live up to their beliefs. I mean, I get the idea that it's meant to be kind of a vague concept to give other people who want to write articles in the SCP universe that use fifithism, you know, a way for them to use it however they want to in other vague, you know, scenarios. I get that it's meant to be kind of esoteric and open-ended so people can use it however they want to in different ways. But again, my brain's trying to rationalize certain things. Yeah, they basically are like Heaven's Gate. Yeah, it seems, yeah. Well, and he also mentioned that there's multiple different factions of, you know, fifthist beliefs, and that this is just like one of them, you know? This is like one concept and idea of them. So, yeah. Well, and then like before with star signals, the other one was like seemingly the opposite, where they were removing stars from the universe, right? So it's like, what's really going on, you know? I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. YouTube doesn't seem to like that word.
From the fifth world takes that they seem to seek, what causes fifithism to spread so vehemently, and why there is so much focus on the number 5 are mysteries known only to fifithists. There is something deeply Lovecraftian here, but it's a repackaged
and that's kind of what interests me about it too, is the whole kind of Lovecraftian outer worldly aspect about this that again makes me want to learn more about it.
There is something deeply Lovecraftian here, but it's repackaged and kept behind a different kind of veil. Really though, I just want this video to serve as a springboard for your own research and for a few future videos I have in mind. At the end of the day, fifithism is just a whole lot of weird stuff without many explanations. And that's what makes the SCP universe so fun.
Okay. Uh-oh. Here's the end thing. Here's the end thing. Okay. What's gonna happen in the end? You and Me by Constellation Starfish. Known West Coast fifthist band.
1, 2, 3.
Oh Lord.
You and me should take a trip across the galaxy and feel the waves of our own energy. Everything will come together slowly, quietly. You and me will float through eternity. We'll stay up all night and wonder about where we've been and where we'll go, what we've seen and what we'll know, guided by
I like the ukulele, not gonna lie.
the lights above us. So you and me, vessels on an open sea. You
I have such a white person head bob going on right now, dude. Like, for real. I feel the whiteness coming out of me.
I wanna be there with you to see it all within you, becoming a part of everything.
Interesting. So the idea of... I don't want to like just read what he's saying here. All the ways around energy. You and me. We'll float through eternity. Guided by lights above us, so... God damn it. Guided by lights above us, so you and me becoming part of everything. So I guess that's part, maybe part of the religious idea of committing suicide is so that, you know, again, you can become part of the universe. You could come out there and become part of the stars, you know, become more than what we are. That I guess when we're here in these bodies, we're, you know, trapped and isolated in our own existence in here. But, you know, if we were to essentially off ourselves, we would expand and become part of the greater universe together. You're killing the jam. My bad. My bad.
We'll float through eternity. We'll stay up all night and wonder about where we've been and where we'll go, what we've seen and what we'll know, guided by the lights above us. So you and me, vessels on an open sea. You and me, I wanna be there with you to see it all within you, becoming a part of everything. You and me have seen the planets dancing around merrily. I dreamt about those far-off things that cannot help but make us sing about the beauty of the skies and how we want to live our lives. You and me, we'll finish our time here one day eventually, and when we're gone they'll look up here, see us grinning ear to ear. They'll follow us to heaven's arms, so infinitely greater, something that surpasses all our hopes and dreams. You and me, vessels on an open sea. You and me, I wanna be there with you to see it all within you, becoming a part of everything. I don't want you to think
the harmony, look out.
just a passing thought. I've dreamt about it ever since the day you came and caught my heart. I'll give you this eternity and keep it by your side, so I can be there with you when you lay down and die. But don't weep for me, darling, there's nothing left to fear. I'm out here dancing with the stars, and soon you'll be here too. You and me, vessels on an open sea. You and me, I wanna be there with you to see it all within you, becoming a part of everything. You and me, vessels on an open sea. You and me, I wanna be there with you to see it all within you, becoming a part of everything.
Lyrics by DJ Cactus, performed by, I don't know, Oba Banga Geek 99. Obo Band Geek 99. There you have it. No quote, but we got a song. So, very interesting. So, I mean, doesn't seem like there really was much more to glean or learn about Fifthism there in general, other than, I guess, potentially it's a vague concept and it's based on what faction you're a part of, but it seems to be more outer worldly overall between them. You know, star signals had something, they all seem to have something to do with the stars and space in the universe itself. This one seems to be more about, at least what he talked about here in the scenario that he talked about, people essentially, you know, ending their lives so that they could be a part of something greater in the universe, you know, like I said. Whereas the one from the star signals, I don't know, seemed to also be something about removing the stars. I kind of need to watch the star signals one again, honestly. But interesting. I mean, I guess you're right there, Kelshman. I really don't have any more further understanding about what Fifthism is after watching this, but, you know, hey, nothing wrong with that. Other than the fact that, yeah, I guess it really is just kind of meant to be kind of a vague outer worldly concept. for people to use who want to write SCP articles. So interesting. But yeah, that was the Exploring series, The Fifth Church. Links will be down below in the description to the original video here, without my commentary and reaction, and to the Exploring series channel. Please do me a favor, click those links, go over there and give this video a like if you enjoyed it, as well as giving the man a sub if you're not already subbed to him. Makes a lot of great content for the SCP universe as well as others. We're doing this reaction live, as you can see. Former YouTube members, we'd love to have you guys come in here and join us. Give your 2 cents, join in the conversations, etc., as we do these reactions live. If you'd like to do so, as well as potentially get any other benefits that I offer, there's a link down below in the description, as well as a join button below the video. You can take a look at the YouTube membership benefits. You can get early access to my videos up to a week early before they are released to the public. You can get greater priority on any kind of videos you request me to do reactions to, etc., So take a look at those, see if they have any interest for you. If you decide you want to take support for me to the next level and help me out monetarily, obviously doing so allows me to focus on doing YouTube content more and getting more videos out for you guys regularly. It would be the dream to be able to do this kind of stuff for a living. So thank you very much for the support and for your consideration on doing so. Regardless, I just appreciate you guys taking the time out of your busy days to watch the videos. It means a lot. Glad you guys are enjoying them. The support's been crazy lately. We've had some great growth. So thank you very much. And yeah, hope you're all having a wonderful day whenever you watch this. See you on the next one.